sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment. The door rattles against your knuckles. The door rattles again, but this time you hear...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Hey! Up here, Piggo! The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aerial graffiti. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, pigsty.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got...
striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Baton, my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group. Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the island.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Before you do, it will be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Oh my, the E-word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
She takes a sip.
Okay. Of course.
Nothing happens for quite a while. It doesn't.
My, it's as if there's a tiny spinner on the side of his head and he's reeling thoughts out.
Except he isn't.
Lieutenant, I truly don't understand what is happening here.
I told you his methods are unconventional.
Your marbles on glass, dear. Don't worry. It was quite a while ago, but I think... Yes, we were The boat? No. It is called Cor de Leyte 19 because my sloop, I like it a lot.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do.
Good. What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain. Saint-Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as...
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
Yes, past a certain point, a conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a...
She nods.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? This reality.
Yes, reality is your side case. And a case.
Ah, yes. The...
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay? It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. A strange coldness comes over you as you...
We're in Martinez, baby. A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover pay. Martinez is a dish... You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not... What I am not is a basic term of reality.
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah! This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot, or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveau. They're old. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories. Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. Splat, splat. Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture. Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture. Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right, what next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
And what would that be? I can see that, yes. I dabble in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. All permeating. Downright mandatory. Nothing infra about disco, baby. Those days are long behind me. The new, a cultural era. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Wasn't it Guillaume le Million who said, if you can remember the new, you weren't there?
For some reason, your mind is a veritable repository of Guillaume le Million lyrics.
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use. That seems unlikely.
What this boils down to is, this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a yes, and lie about it too, to her. She stares at you, head tilted to the side, with a slightly concerned look on her face.
These are unimportant times, Detective. For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head. And those would be the communists. Oh, and the anarchists, too. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's... Him and tens of thousands of his wonderful... The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution. They didn't win so much as survive.
She's one of them. Of course.
to foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The Coalition of Nations. The Moralists, at least not in...
The rulers of Revachol.
This is their...
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution. The revolution began... It wasn't a who, but a... It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. From Revachol... Why? You and I, officer. A city-state. The zone of control. Modernity.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban... The 30s? Things that... Yes. And quantitative easing. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes. Good question. What would you have done differently? And I asked you.
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing. A cold.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion? A complex folding protein. Unlife.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence.
There is peace in the heart.
Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate... When they failed to...
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position.
Understandable. They are what they... Anyway, enough...
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
It's sharp.
Yes. I can see you thought...
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire.
A devil.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a...
Steal, kill, and destroy. That they say we've been doing for over 4... In any case, I'm glad we can remain collegial despite my... When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only... With due respect to our overlords...
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Then for my daughters, we had an obligation to defend... Perhaps...
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter. One basic term of reality at a time. Yes, I suppose I am.
Seditious talk, ma'am.
Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? I am...
It's sharp.
An ultra-liberal. It's the type of... No, not like me. Are you liberated?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and...
That's a pity. When the dust settled, with due...
While...
I would not have... Then for my daughters, we had an Yes. We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez. You would be excused for not knowing about it. I'm not... This place used to be a province. It's not... Yes.
Known to the early Revacholians,
Caillou.
it is clear this pebble is of enormous... and to humanity at large.
Revachol, the great kind. History detective. They built this city to resolve history. The nations of the Occident, in the DeLorean century. They say it's where the terrible question. By that I mean, we are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200 million. I think it's 22 kilometers from the center of the world.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks. This is one thought you need.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. I am...
It's sharp.
No. Are you liberal?
In her green eyes you see a...
When the dust settled, the liberal... with due...
While a gentle...
I would not have really... Then for my daughters. Yes. Whatever else I am. We're in Martinez. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant. Revachol, the history detective. By that I mean, we are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient, 22 kilometers.
Silence. The water, there is no recognition.
We are, where...
This is one...
Was there something else you wanted to... We're...
She refers to your corresponding...
Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about it. Revachol, the great history detective. They say, by that I mean, we are standing on a fertile... Speak for yourself of 22 kilometers.
Silent. The water, there is no recognition. Only the immense...
We are where we are.
This is one thought.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember some... Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Is what you want to say. Look at that lady. Take a well-kempt, yet wild. These are the kind eyes of within reason. Now look at you. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... Oh, but you are.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't...
I am sorry. Surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one. Not...
My. That's garbage. You're a police officer. Of course. Everything. Right up to, but not including... First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Alliance. Good luck.
What the...
You'd be sure...
But I am derailing us. You wanted... First, you'd have to repeal the emergencies... Why?
You'd be sure...
But I... First, you'd have to repeal the I am glad...
You'd be sure...
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the... I believe...
And how are the...
They're not. Now they will. What can I say? The Union employs a giant cut... What can I say? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February.
But this...
I wasn't the original...
This isn't the first time.
Heavens.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiate. Mr. Fuck off, midget. Yes. Keep in mind, there are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every work...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazzo of every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals. That may well be. I'm not sure. Natural. And now...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Evrart? Of course not. Evrart is fantastically corrupt. He is the most corrupt Yes, it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. The Daybard organized...
A mob. The debarders are...
Refreshing. And you're... Why do you think so? Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. I'm glad you asked.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, indeed. The company, the point of the
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
On the last day of the local chapter, downright horn. The point of the...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am.
I'm...
Disappeared?
Yes. Does it? The point...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am.
Fuck off, midget. Yes. Extremely. They're everywhere.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned. That may... I'm not sure. And now...
Excuse me.
I first...
This checks out.
I'm glad you... Yeah, downright. The point...
Thank you.
Mr. Yeah, Mr. Clare... Fuck off, midget. Keep in mind, this... I'm glad you...
Disappear.
Yes, downright. The point of the...
Thank you.
Mr. Fuck... Yes. Keep in mind, I'm glad you...
Disappear.
Yes. Indeed. The point of the...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
There are every...
Most of the workers probably...
It's quite... Just so you... There have it. I'm not sure. And now...
Excuse me.
I first...
This checks out.
Ever? Of course not. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen. Have you seen him? Edgar looks at... It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. The Daybard organized...
A mob.
Refreshing. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and... Indeed. And a hungry one. Of course. How else can I help? It's...
Ingredient.
Meth and dextroamphetamine. GBL and very... Yes.
Wild pine.
We're in logistics. It's our business. Yes.
Wild pine seems...
We're in logistics. Yes, but you...
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Unlikely, officer. Perhaps you've known... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. We did. On more than one occasion.
We know the company has launched its own
Well, here's your No. We are... This is 1,000...
Well...
What is that?
Why I had to call East...
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Luke. How do you think...
There was a shake...
With all due respect, precise... We did.
We...
Well, here's your chance, officer.
She simply nods.
The lorries are still stuck at the roundabout. If the police is asking...
She simply nods.
Of course.
Hey. Psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie. The landowners impale all people who have more than 25 real. Funky style. Very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? or do we get right down to it? Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. You have no clue. So many walls. The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. They look pretty ancient.
Where? There? Those are old. Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how... You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, your resilience. Not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the... There's something you're missing.
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles, remorse, the parquet of Assembly Hall. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only...
Mum says it's necessary to do both, because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though. By your command.
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who those stars are. Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes? Yes, of course. That makes sense.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I'm glad I could help you, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. Maybe some about other books? Oh, I think that...
Seems like most people who read them.
I do. Mum says it's necessary to do both. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's cursed in the way that makes them... I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. My name is... Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You ring the doorbell, but no. What an ominous... Just seeing the words Andro Orlando gets your hackles up. Its very existence is a threat. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a light. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if...
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from your surroundings.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to find it.
She sounds like she's about... The cold is deep under your skin. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by.
It must have been some kind of faulty wiring. We should maybe stop playing with this door.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box.
No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find some...
Silence. No one's home at foot. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one. You hear the same waiting room. You hear the same waiting room music, but no one. This button looks new, but...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. Andy's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
No! You told him about it and now he knows your name!
The prospect of Kuno turning lame is physically painful for her.
The city's not fucking lame. You are lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from... Just fuck off, alright? And fuck you too, putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain it.
Explain himself? As if explaining some kind of work? Some kind of... You must get to the bottom of this one of these days. Sadly, it's unlikely to...
Kuno...
There he still is, looking right through.
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. Too late. It's until a pool of vomit lies under...
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is fruit nearby. There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the...
There he still is, looking right...
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's...
Active...
He's about to blow!
Active decay.
He's about to blow!
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing.
It's raining. It was clear just an hour ago. Well, snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbour gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
No, of course not. The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without or kipped. He's always giving me trouble. Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean...
You've been resting?
Yes.
I understand.
There's silence, the smallest of smiles.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do.
Sure. I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Of course. Where to? The harbor gates. There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment. some shops and a bridge. Just coast.
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on.
I don't know. It's just water. What do you mean? Yes, sir.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
No problem.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors, every school of thought and government has failed in the city. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making...
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself, but you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers. No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his fucking hand. Snatch that.
Can't have it. Evidence of what? I haven't done anything. What, officer? Sorry, I couldn't be of any help. It's about biological not the
Change the topic. The way he says it
Look, people who've studied these things say that you and me are superior. Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? The problem?
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Don't push your luck. Looking for something, Hunt? Oh, not much anymore. The strike. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say.
Look, as detective. Oh, I'm here to...
Damn, you're not gonna get more out of him on this. He's...
Yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grand... Someone with a cart. What did... Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very... Goddamn... Trusting street thugs... No.
He's got a smoke right there.
It's my last one. Sorry, hold on. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his fucking hand.
It's my last one. Why would I do that? Sorry I could... not...
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a...
I'm not... People who've studied these things... Oh? Don't... Looking for something, Hunt? No.
He's got a smoke right there.
Can't have it. That's too bad. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any... Looking for something, Hunt? No.
He's got a smoke right there.
Can't have it. Evidence of what? Sorry I couldn't be of... No.
He's got a smoke right...
It's my last one. Sorry. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. No.
He's got to smoke right.
Can't have it. Evidence of what? I bet. Sorry I couldn't be a...
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up.
From another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days. Yeah.
It's official.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around.
Yup, nothing wrong with that stick.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishal. It's like, whatever's going on. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, they want to keep that money flowing in,
He doesn't blame them.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient...
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out.
Analyzing the fundamental, structural, and psych... Nothing. I'm just messing with you, man. Oh.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchant. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. It's easy to see he's telling...
Analyzing the fun... Nothing. Huh? The bosses, man. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. Don't be a stranger.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a Oh, yeah. Look at yourself. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. That's just what it ain't easy. But you do it. Sure. Are you rich? Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone. Our tax is almost non-existent in the Gotham estate. That is Revachol. Every time. 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous. Worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've solved...
You can
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to angry old René first. Hey, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning, and already your muscles are adjusting to the weight. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds an embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Behold the fear and confusion reflecting in the eyes of the two feeble geese.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters. Probably 24, and then some.
What the hell is your problem? I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
A man his age getting worked up like that? Better watch that blood pressure.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull. No, we are not good, goddammit.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer?
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. Good. Mistakes are forgiven.
Yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen.
He doesn't know about the crime.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you.
'Tis true, sire. He knows.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership. Fine. What do you want now, then? Sadly, no. Should have fought.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn beachhead, son. They didn't do it because they didn't like it. Yes, the military Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Def. This here is Blood Ground.
Blood Ground? You got old René going there.
Don't get me wrong, officer. Damn.
He approves of this radical approach.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but not...
Well...
You don't...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm just so damn... Instead... This damn Frissel. A truc.
Exiled, Joyce.
This is communal propaganda. The suzerain is... It's no use talking to you. You are still in that...
All you observe.
This is the uniform.
Don't you mean?
You do not...
There's something you missed.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need,
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance of... Let me think. I heard someone was... No.
Then help them.
He means caviar.
I wish...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something...
I'm not.
Of course he's holding...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? Everyone...
What's the...
The old... There he...
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Oh, yes. Not in the tech...
So that he doesn't...
Of course! I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them...
Writing work mostly. Oh.
Well, he tells his little pen man...
Hide, officer.
He...
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't...
Just...
Oh, mon Dieu.
No, I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't chef.
The only...
Suddenly, aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must...
A man so... This right here is political. Say one of these fascist or communist things, or fuck off.
All right. Let's...
typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole. This would make quite a statement.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in
His manner is casual, but his...
It was brought to me.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city. You have to admit it's rather clever.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Why? What's this? A head...
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine. I had to hide it so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands.
He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hands.
I've heard about it. I've heard the headless phone rider ride the headless bull.
Yes, there are several competing versions of the headless phone rider. It's an urban legend. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the top. Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Big men on big horses.
Franco-Nigerian knights.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by...
Which ones?
This set of soldiers...
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among my customers. It's what can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, okay. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know any. No one likes to see what you have to see every day. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His posture is relaxed, despite his powerful build and the knife in his hand.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. Well, there's the fishing village. Yeah, not really much. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
G'day to you, officers. Well, Yeah, not really much.
A couple of indicators. This panel usually you pull the lever all the way up until nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Yes?
There's a pile of...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's...
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy!
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with the...
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you.
These are all boring. Those UV stickers.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world.
Wow, officer. You look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere...
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
There are clothes and...
Don't be shy.
You find your...
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand.
Something cold, grey. This jacket, practical.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty.
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. A security guard or worker of some sort. They didn't identify them. There's a strong prejudice against him. That's right. Good. Yes?
You see a heavy steel, the cobalt blue surface. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this, the cafeteria manager.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust. As you step in, okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please, it's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something. He looks up at you, then look. Shrugging is an international sign for no. He smiles. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling.